Hello and welcome back. Today I have a little spot welder kit, and the spot welder kit was sent to me by BangGood to have a try. And it is a kit, so it has also the strips. It has the battery inside, and it is specially made for this 18650 batteries. And well, if you solder the wires, it is always a little bit messy, and you will also see that most of the time it is spot welded. So this machine could do it. Of course, in the factory they have big machines. I remember when I did that in school with plates of 1 millimeter, you really had a huge machine with two big contacts, and you kick on the pedal and then it just melted together, and it was huge current. I don't know how many amps, and but this machine can do, and we have a closer look, I think over 600 amps. So I wonder how that works in this little box. So let's have a closer look at what's all in the kit. And of course I have my fire extinguisher. I think it's CO2. Yeah, it's a CO2, because I don't want any foam here in my equipment. So, but after I use it, I need to get out there, of course, because I don't breathe too well the CO2. But first, let's see what is in the box. So here it is. This is the box. Very small manual. So I scanned it and printed on A4 because I really can't read this small. Well, this is the spot welder itself. It is very small. It is 4.2 volts. It can do 639 amps, and the battery it's inside is 4200 milliamp an hour. So it can be charged with USB. It is still the crappy USB. I don't know exactly if it's mini or micro, but it is not USB 3. So if you put it the wrong way around, you break everything. That is a pity, but the box looks strong. It is heavy, so it probably has a big battery. So we will open that to have a look. We have the two electrodes. That looks pretty good. What would it be? Six square mils. It is 10 AWG. It doesn't say how many squares. Okay. So we put one in here. It's a tight fit. That is good. And that is good. And then you probably just do it like this. Okay. It has some isolation here, so only the points are open. So this can carry 600 amps. Well, it's very short time, of course. Here we have the nickel strips. I don't know what is the difference between the two, or it is just two. Yeah, it looks the same. It is not that thick. And I have my battery here. So let's get the manual. What do we need to do? Okay, first impression. It looks kind of good. I really like the box. It doesn't have rubber feet, so it will damage your table, but I can just stick rubber feet in the bottom. You need to charge it, of course, and it takes a while because it's 4200. So it is quite some capacity. But it will also discharge itself automatically. I read somewhere that in a week it's already 50%. I charged it fully yesterday, and I tried again today, and it charged for more than an hour, so it really discharges. Well, directions to use. If you long press the button, it switches on. And then you have two modes. One mode is that triggers every 1.5 seconds. It just tries to put current through it. And there is a second mode that will just look for if it measures a short, then within a second it will give the pulse. And then you can also set how strong it needs to be, and we can do that all with the lights. So they call it gears, but you have 4 settings. 4 is the highest gear, and we can see how full is the battery. So let me find out how I can change these modes. So long press to switch on. Okay, it's all full. So now it's in this second. So every time it will probably now pulse. So if I want the other mode, what I need to do? Oh, probably I already changed now the trigger mode to when it is shorted. Okay. Let's check that later, but I want to see the power, what I need to do to set the power. Press the button twice. So we press the button quickly twice. Okay, so now it's full power. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I just do full power. So double click. Now it's again in the pulse mode. So let's do the trigger. Okay, let's set up a little thing. Let me just switch this off. Okay, here we can see the lights. So now it only welds when it sees a short. So let me just try to weld. I will do on the bottom, I don't want to make a short. So I will cut a little bit off. Okay, so I cut a little bit. Yeah, I don't have an holder. So I need to try to hold it with the first one. Move stuff away. You should have, of course, a nice battery holder. Maybe you can 3D print it. So let me try to first without zooming. And now if I put it together, I need to push it hard to make the contact. And now in a second it should give a pulse. So plop. You could see that it and I saw a little smoke. And yes, it seems stuck. Let me zoom in. Okay, let's try that again. One here. Plop. You could see a little spark. And it is indeed stuck. And yeah, it is stuck. So, but we can also try the other mode. And then it is pulsing all the time. And then you just need to connect it between the pulses, I think. Yeah. I prefer this mode, I think, because that just gives you time and there is no beep and you can just hold it and then you know when I push now, plop, there it goes. Let me get the microscope. So I put the battery under the microscope. So we zoom in a little bit on the screen and you can actually see that it really spot welded. And you can see it was hot because the nickel is colored a little bit. So that looks good. And well, you cannot see, but it looks like just like the normal batteries, how that is done. Let me try to pull it loose. Yeah, I can pull it if I pull hard enough. And I think it just leaves material from my nickel strip stays on the, I think it's still here. Yeah. So it really, the strip just breaks. So I probably have holes in the strip. And I think I do. Yeah, yeah. If we check, it was stuck because the only thing I did is just break the strip itself. Interesting. Now I'd like to see how much current flows through it. Yeah, if I want to measure the current, I cannot use a normal digital multimeter because we're talking about 600 plus. So I was thinking, I have here an old clamp multimeter. This one indeed goes to 400 amps, also not enough. But it's only AC, so I need to look if we have another one. I did find another one, digital clamp meter. I bought this in my local eBay, I think for 10 euros. The brand is unclear to me. No, it's not. The inside actually says it's a Velleman. And the amps, DC volts, AC amps. It can do 1000 amps, but AC. So for this purpose, I will play with this one later in the other videos. But useless for this purpose. So what else I have? I have here, yeah, B-side mini AC/DC clamp meter. This one should be possible. I'll also zoom in on that one later. It has screwdrivers, temperature sensors. Oh, this is a luxury thing. Doesn't seem that big, but that is perfect for this purpose, I think. And okay, that is something that needs to be on my list because this small clamp multimeter only goes to it goes to 100. I have one here for 600, old one, but it's for DC, AC. I mean, so I need to find something else. That's cool. Well, I thought I'd just use this little meter anyway. Even it's only 100, at least we can see it's more than 100. But I cannot find there is a max hold function or something. So yeah, then I probably need a better meter. Okay, I have this little charge circuit. It actually came from this one and I have pulled just the plugs off. But let's just see if we can weld this. Right, power on. And it is in full power. Pulse mode. Okay, I want to have it in normal mode. So let's try to weld this. Okay, I've cleaned the battery, so it's more flat. I have put this also more flat, the strip itself. So now it should be not a problem. One pin here. One pin here. Okay, give me your amps. Move this one as well. Okay. Yeah, now it's better stuck. I can do the other side. And you need a special holder because it will fall and it's not that safe like this. Okay, put this away. off. Okay, and it is stuck. Okay, so that does work. Okay, now the interesting part, can we open it? Okay, let's see if we can pull or push it out. Two big batteries instead of just one. And the board is a little bit bent because the batteries are so thick. I hope it's not because the battery is already expanded. Now, yeah, I can pull it out. I hope I can get it back in later. My God. Yeah, that will be difficult to put it back in. The battery seems to have expanded. But it's two big ones. Oh, don't go on. It is not a good idea. Okay. The batteries are held with big bolts instead of solder. And, well, let's just see. I think a few big MOSFETs. I have seen other models that have just one little strip here, like a 4 square millimeters. And here you really see big strips. So that is better than I saw in others. Let's have a look on these MOSFETs. Now they have 4 of them right here, and there is, yeah, the microscope is a little bit too big. Little charge circuit there. But look at these strips. This is big. I just had a quick look at those MOSFETs, and they you can work up to 40 volts. Well, this was like 4.2, so that's okay. They can do 300 amps, and they have 4 of them in parallel, so 1200 amps. And this one, it says like 640 amps, so they could have done with 3, but they did put 4, so that's very nice. Maybe they also do that to get the resistance down, because the resistance is 0.77 milliohms, so, and that is also probably divided by 4, so then you get even a lower resistance, so that's nice. They can work up to 175 Celsius, so it can get hot. And the charge circuit was just a general, it was a TP4056. It is a 1 amp standalone lithium ion battery charger terminal regulation. So it is all controlled, it will charge nicely, and indeed they said it's up to 1 amp, your charger needs to be up an amp. But what I saw, it was charging with 300 up to 500 milliamps, and that's it. So it will take you some hours to charge it. And but it keeps everything in control with the temperature, so it feels safe. Okay, I'm trying to put it back in. It seems like the batteries are in little bags. I don't know why. Maybe so it doesn't leak, or this is for the shipping that it is done. And there looks to be some air inside. But yeah, I can just push the board in without too much problems. The only thing that I don't like is that it is a little bit too much pressure on the board, because you can really see it just bends all the way. So it is a nice little box. I like what I've seen inside, to be honest, except for the battery that's pushing the board down. But the components they used are good and even overrated, so that was even good. The charge circuit feels safe. It's just a one that a lot of manufacturers use. Temperature controlled, so that is good. And it actually, it could do spot welds, and the only thing you need to be very careful of is that the surface needs to be clean, of course, your metal needs to be flat, and then the contact is its maximum, because of course it needs to short circuit also through the battery, and if not, then it's only 1 point. But in the end I managed to put this circuit on the battery back again that I pull off, and also the big strips that come with it. That was quite easy. They are very thin, and it worked. So thank you, BangGood, for sending it. Oh, and I didn't even say what model it is. It is the 1S, because you have different kits, and I think the 1S has as an extra that you can have these different modes, or the battery is a higher capacity. I forgot to look at what was the difference, because I was just interested in this one. So I hope that helped a bit to make your choice. If you're thinking of should I or should I not, I think they are between $40 or $50, depends also if you need to pay tax on it or not. And for that price, well, you have at least big batteries, some big MOSFETs, and it actually does the job. It can spot weld the batteries. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you next time.